3 years, multiple prime ministers, and finally, Labour's first ever trade deal over the line with India. This is biggest ever deal UK has ever done since they left EU. And of course, it's the most ambitious deal for India as well. And this will be measured in billions of pounds. The deal will include removing tariffs on imports and exports from both countries on certain goods and services. However, in this video, we are only going to look into tax side along with what British people think about this deal and what their concerns are regarding this deal. Let's first cover tax side. A controversial exemption for national insurance has been agreed. Companies in India sending their workers over don't pay national insurance. British companies out in India don't pay national insurance. Indian government has hailed this as a huge win and unprecedented achievement. This will make Indian service provider significantly more competitive in the UK. Let's look this into more detail. If you work for a company in India, let's say in New Delhi, and you send it to the London office, you don't pay national insurance because you pay there. Since national insurance is normally for pensions, you can't come from India and get a job, say at Sainsbury or John Lewis, and not pay a national insurance. It's you or scanned by your Indian company to work in the Indian office in the UK. However, few people are creating completely wrong pictures and in fact inflammatory impressions. But this is not what British people are concerned about. Let's say, I don't know, maybe perhaps a big hospitality company seconds a lot of Indian workers to the UK office. They know they don't have to pay employer NI as well as employee NI. And it's more cheaper to hire a second employer, and they know it's more cheaper to hire Indian people on a secondment for at least 3 years. Isn't it something which will affect British workers and they will lose out the jobs? If you put an immigration issue aside, if you put any other race issue aside, is it not something about how companies are using alternative to British people or British workers because of cheap labor? This is what now British people are talking about, and this is really a concern for them. Yesterday, I had a chat with few friends and colleagues, and here what they have said. Keir Starmer has signed a free deal with India. Companies can transfer workers from India to the UK. Those workers here will not pay any national insurance for at least 3 years. The very same time, they will get the tax exemptions. Taxes on British workers has been put up since Labour government came into power. Well, still remember what happened in the budget. Employer national insurance went up by 2% for each worker, costing companies on average at least £1,000 for each worker. Yet companies that bring in Indian workers, the companies themselves will pay no national insurance either. It means overall 20% cheaper to employ Indians after this deal instead to employ British workers. On top of this, there are no limits at all for this deal. Bear in mind 500,000 people, half a million people coming to the UK from India in the last 2 years alone. It is almost impossible to predict how much hundreds of thousands will come after this deal. There have been no impact assessment, no analysis of cost, and absolutely no analysis of what does it mean for burden on health services and elsewhere. The government does not give time to the working people. The Labour Party have this time in a big way betray working Britons. This is, however, one side of the story. The other side is many of the British people look this into as a skilled workers coming into the UK, and they don't have to pay national insurance or social security here. Likewise, if British British people, they want to go or work into the India, they don't have to pay a social security there because they're already paying here in the UK. So what your thoughts are on it? Please do leave a comment below in the section. As always, head to head salute until the next video.